Well, isn't this a familiar sight? Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Shady O'Malley, and I'm here with Brower. And I am here also with the one, the only, the fucking crackhead of the case, Reese Maynard.
In our new show, Pokemon Trainer at Law. But this is coming out after that.
Yeah, if it isn't obvious, we're massive Monkey Jones fans.
Anyway, yeah, so we're gonna... Well, first we're doing a Q&A for... Well, this is technically the second Q&A for Ultimate Smash Bros. 1, because 3 years ago, I interviewed these clowns on the original cut, and I wasn't exactly, like, on board with the NCU, like, at that time. Like, I liked Zelda, but I just wasn't on board with it long term. Then when Smash came out, I was on board with Xander Brown in general long term, and I'm here now. So it's kind of cool to interview you guys about the same movie again, but it's also a different movie at the same time. It's weird, right? So we're going to do that, and then we're going to react to the remaster, even though I've seen the whole thing. So I know what happens, but it'll be cool to see it done, finally, 2 years later. So whenever y'all are ready.
Alright, yeah, so let's get right into it with this Q&A.
Okay, so before we actually start this, I gotta pull out my documents on Google Drive. 1 second.
The idea.
We don't need notes for the Q&A. You ask from the heart.
All right. So Shay, I'll ask you the first question, and then Brower, I'll go to you, and then back to Shay, and so forth.
Got it.
That's how the process will go. All right, Shady Poo, how did it feel having to remaster an old film that you did back in 2022, while also managing an entire phase?
Oh, that's a good question. So, I guess to begin, I gotta probably start off by saying how this remaster even started to begin with. So, as you guys know, we directed the Ultimate Smash Bros. In 2022. However, it was very prominent within the Brotherhood, which is like me, Cole, and Brian at the time, that we weren't happy with certain things of the original film. We kind of felt like a little bit more care could have went into it. And it was always kind of like a passion project of mine to like just say, okay, let's finally go back into the original film. Let's fix up some mistakes. Let's put a little bit more care into it, because this, in my opinion, the Ultimate Smash Brothers, yes, I've made other films that I guess I'm prouder of since, but let's make no mistake, the Ultimate Smash Brothers 1 is probably our crown jewel. It's the thing that started everything that we currently do today. So I wanted to treat this with the utmost respect. No disrespect when I say Chris Valdez was probably had the weakest arc of that film, with definitely some controversial like line delivery and whatever the case may be. And we wanted to go back and like really throw in Bobby's Luigi in there, because Bobby kept expressing how much he was so passionate about that first film. That was the very first film he did with us, and I guess after some tweaking and whatever the case may be, we decided to say, yeah, let's go back, let's do this remaster, let's add Bobby in it, and let's make him earn the title of Brotherhood before we ever decide to make anything official with him. And you're about to see from this film, and I think he earns it very, very, very well.
Yeah, trust me, as someone who's seen the remaster, I can definitely agree. Okay, Brower, my question is, how do you feel about Mario, like Mario's role in this remaster compared to what he did in the original version of Smash?
Definitely a lot more context as to what's going on, because after we did Pokemon, it did kind of fill in gaps of what Mario was going through. And in the original, it was kind of just here and there, like he went to this place and that place, separated from the team and whatnot. But in this new version, you get a little bit more context, like with the scene where Luigi gets shot instead of Mario, and Luigi has that line of like, "Oh, you should treat your brother as well you do as your brotherhood." And I'm like, I like that, because it gives the brothers actually some good context instead of just, Mario, what's going on? Mario, what do we do? Because we had a lot more time filming with Bobby than we did with Chris, and I had more than a day to like direct, to have film with Bobby. So it was a lot easier to add more context. With my old roommates, it was just a lot of time restrictions and fighting in the inner circle, and it was just annoying to like film with, and I couldn't get what I wanted. Also, with Bobby, it was a lot easier.
Could I add on to that for a second, just because I'm curious about it? So like, you know, your roommates didn't really give you like a lot of time and whatnot. If you had the time, right, just out of curiosity, just because I don't think we ever talked about it publicly, If you had the time, if you had all the days that you needed to do this film, what would the original version with Chris look like?
He would team up with the Brotherhood. He would get lost in the Shadow Realm. He would probably stick with the Brotherhood. I honestly would love if it was because I had Mario with the Brotherhood originally because I was friends with you guys, but I would have honestly Luigi with the Brotherhood looking for Mario because then I honestly wouldn't mind if Mario is in that final battle with Bowser and then Luigi jumping into the fight to help with the Brotherhood because like what if my version would have been Luigi would have gotten teleported with the Brotherhood, Mario would have been separate, the search for Mario would happen. And then they would find Mario in episode 5 almost getting killed by Bowser, and then Luigi and the Brotherhood would help save him, but they would lose, and that's when episode 6 happened. So that's what I wanted, but we couldn't get that, so yeah.
We all would have lost to Bowser?
Well, like, things would have happened, like, in the fight that would ultimately Bowser killing Mario. Not to mean he's stronger than all of you, but some things, like, you got tricked or you got surprised, and then he would have got the final blow on Mario. Shink. But,
Oh, so Mario dies no matter what.
yeah, I would have, because I've been planning to kill off Mario in a way for a while. We had it originally planned for Plumber Season 3, but that didn't go through. So I'm like, hey, we can still kill him off in another show. So, boom. Because we've been trying to kill off Mario in an impactful way, but it never hit in any of the shows. So we're like, hey, Shady, can we do it here?
Yeah.
But originally, the team would have been looking for Mario in the Shadow Realm. Mario would have been missing. And we would have seen him fighting Bowser in episode 5. They would have chimed in to help defeat Bowser, but circumstances and Mario's death, and then episode 6. So I wanted Luigi to have more involvement, but I couldn't because scheduling and days and shit. So yeah, I had to make it work.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right, Shady, how significant are the changes made in this remaster?
So, like, obviously, I'm going to say this right off the bat. It's not like there's, like, a completely different storyline as a result. It pretty much goes about the same way. Mario and Luigi go about what they do, Mario dies, and there's a fight with Master Hand at the very end. So, in terms of, like, structure, it's exactly the same. However, the thing that's more different and significant is, first of all, some stuff that we kind of do to set up Luigi Brothers Shadow since this takes place before. And you're going to see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to say it in this Q&A, but you will see when we're actually doing the reaction for the video. And obviously, you already know what it is. But it's like...
Right.
But what I will say, too, is, like, I think the thing that makes this movie more significant for everything else is you care more about Luigi. Like, the original movie, it had soul. 100% it had soul because of Link. This has heart because of Luigi. And I think adding those two characters, because I've heard a criticism that I heard about the original Smash Brothers that I've kind of learned to understand is once Link's arc is done, you're kind of just waiting for the final battle at that point. Because you got like most of your latch onto that one character, but his arc's really complete in 3. But because of Luigi, it kind of makes it stronger and carries it all the way over to 6 because Mario dies in 5, and you really, really feel that because of Bobby's performance. I think overall, though, it's just the structure of this film is significantly tighter.
So basically, Link and Luigi can kind of go hand in hand in this movie, pretty much. That's what makes it the way it is. Yeah.
They absolutely have to. It's like, again, if the best way I can describe this film, Link is the soul. You feel his soul throughout this film. You feel like his desire to want to like be, I guess, back to where he wants to be, but his perseverance to continue going through. But you feel Luigi's heart because it's gonna break in this film. Because spoiler alert, don't know if you know this, Mario dies, and god damn it, I'll go on record and say this: easily top 3 best scenes we've ever done.
Yeah, I can concur. Brower, what has been your experience like while working with Bobby Becker IV?
Really fun. A lot more into the film, and definitely way more energetic. Like, I can say, you can definitely tell when people care and don't care. When you hear the words, can we do another take, or can we, like, make sure this take is right? I'm like, you like being here. Yay! You like filming. And it's really important for the character that the actor likes it, because, like, I understand life gets in the way, but it was such a challenge to film the old version, and I was trying to get everyone home at a certain time. But Bobby is like, can we stay a little bit longer so we can make sure this take is right? I'm like, yes.
You didn't get a due to the fact?
No. that's not until, like, season 2 of Bobby's story. This is season 1. This is season 1 of Becker.
Let me also kind of follow up with this. How would you compare Bobby's Luigi? I agree. If this is one of your questions, shut me up. But how would you compare Bobby's Luigi to Chris's Luigi?
I can't disagree. I can't disagree with that. No offense.
Or Willow's Luigi.
How would you compare Bobby's Luigi to Chris's Luigi and Willow's Luigi? I'm gonna take that as I plead the fifth.
I'm gonna say Bobby, Willow, Chris.
Bobby, Willow, okay.
No, what's funny is I've seen good performances from my roommates in quarantine. I could just tell they wanted out during Brotherhood, so it was like,
well,
here we go.
Not just that too, but Chris was clearly always more of like a, like
behind the scenes.
No. Chris was always more like a, I guess like a funny, warmer Luigi, while Bobby can be warm, but he's more dramatic.
Yeah.
Which I think fits this film. I'm so sorry.
If I had to compare Bobby to Willow and Chris, though, obviously, based on what I've seen, Bobby just takes it. There's no question about it. Then I would say Willow is number 2 mainly because of nostalgia. Like I grew up watching Willow and Yun and Brotherhood, so there's that bias there. But I think Willow just captured the essence of Luigi for the most part, even if there were some really cringy parts to it. And as fun as Chris was in, like, Unknown Plumber and Quarantine, I would definitely say that Chris is the weakest, because it definitely did kind of feel like Chris was just acting at times, while with Willow and Bobby, they felt like the character. While with Chris, as good as his performance was, it kind of just felt like Chris was just acting like Luigi.
Come to say I'm sorry.
Sorry. Bullshit.
Never thought the King of Koopas would be a comedian.
That's how I would rank them personally. So that's how I would do it. All right. So now the next 3 questions are for both of you, actually. So one of you can go first, and then the other one will follow suit. Yeah. No. So I guess what are your thoughts on the whole Brotherhood dynamic that Smash introduced going into Phase 2 and beyond?
What do I think about, like, so without a doubt, it kind of goes beyond the films, because that for Brotherhood has genuinely, like, I guess resonated with the Xanadu crew. Reese, you can contest to this with how many productions you've been with us on. How many times right before a shoot or even after we're going 1, 2, 3, 4 Brotherhood. It's extended far beyond just me, Cole, and Ryan. And believe me when I say it, when this remaster, when you watch this thing in full, Bobby being a part of that equation makes it significantly stronger. I think it's a beautiful thing, and I think the For Brotherhood aspect of everything has genuinely made Xanadu stronger, especially as a community.
Oh, for sure.
You know what the new outro should be? It should be us doing the hand thing for Brotherhood, and then the camera zooms out and we start dancing to subscribe.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know when we're going to do a new outro. Like, by the way, that's another thing, too. So we decided, like, break it down in, like, phases, for example. So the original new intro and outro came out with Smash Brothers. So when Smash 2 does eventually come out, that's when we're gonna hopefully be doing a new intro and outro. But it's way later.
Definitely need a updated
Right.
channel trailer.
Right. Yeah. Oh yeah. So Brower. So what are your like personal thoughts on the For Brotherhood then?
100% on Rotten Tomatoes. 10 out of 10. Definitely, I can show this to my mom without being scared to show it to my family. Like honestly, I could be like, "We made a movie." No, really, we actually made a movie. Check this out, and it definitely follows the Huh?
Well, I mean, I'm talking more or less on like the whole like For Brotherhood dynamic that like we've had throughout the entire group. Like Shady just mentioned, every single shoot we always go for Brotherhood.
I kind of like it because it all started with Mario's death in a way. So, in a way, my demise started the For Brotherhood, and it's kind of funny of me just on set being like, "For Brotherhood, yeah, I'm dead, you assholes. I hope you enjoy your new team. Go to the sky with it." But it's kind of endearing in a way because, like, my legacy is everyone else teaming up on my channel to be like, "For Brotherhood, let's make a movie because we want to." So it's kind of a nice little. Like, I want to see this get popular. Hashtag For Brotherhood.
Well, hopefully when Smash 2 comes out, it will. Hopefully. All right. My next question is: what are your favorite and least favorite episodes of both the original and new cuts of Smash?
Okay.
So both cuts.
Okay. So in no particular order for the original. Oh wait, no, this needs to be in particular order. So from least to greatest for the original cut. From least to greatest, it would be 2, 1. Oh, that's a good question. 2, 1, 4. 5, 6, 3. Right? Like, that would be for the original cut, right? For the new cut, I would say... by the way, just to elaborate, for the original version, in my opinion, there's no scene better than the Link versus Darkling fight. But for this version, for the new one, I would say... 2 is definitely still the weakest. 1 is, in my opinion, significantly better. But it's still like ranked at second last. Then it would be 4. 4 is a great chapter if you ask me, just because like there's something cool about just kind of like going through this desolate wasteland. You don't really know what's going on. Nothing really action wise is happening, but kind of the exploration of it. I don't know. I can admire that. Going back to 2 for a second, the reason it's the weakest, I think it's a good episode. I just think that more interesting things happen later on. Not just that too, but like all the most significant thing that happens in that episode is just a Link versus Joker fight. So like nothing really crazy. Then it would be okay, the last 3 are harder. The last 3 are way harder because all 3 of them arguably are the best episode of that series. Okay. I'm going to say some things that are going to piss some people off. At number 3, it's going to be 5. I love that. No, excuse me. At number 3, it's going to be 6. I love this final battle, but I love those 2 episodes a little bit more. And call me biased. No, forget it. 3, and then the best episode's 5. I remember when I first showed Cole episode 5 of Smash, way back when we were doing the original, he hated it because he thought we were just hitting like check notes, and I understand it. It was a very weirdly stitched together project. But episode 5, without a doubt, if you ask me, is so structurally sound. And Mario's death is handled immaculately. Oh, and shout out to Willow's score too, because that scene wouldn't be as good as it is without it.
I know Cole was like, why would you not Capture Mario, you had him right there, Master Hand and Crazy Hand. And in my head, it was always like, I'm gonna beat you up, but I want to see if Bowser is gonna follow my command. So if he doesn't, I'm gonna beat his ass.
But how would you rank the episodes?
Me. We doing the original or the new cut?
Both.
Okay.
So start off with the original and then go with the new one.
Alright, original, it would be... I'm gonna do from greatest to least.
Okay.
So at the top we got chapter 6, and I just love the final fight and the ending. And then it would be chapter 3, because the forest fight. And we got chapter 6, 3, and then 5. I wish I did the Bowser fight better in the original, but it's still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
6, 3, 5. Next we have 1. I gotta love my opening, and then 2. So that's my ranking of the original cut.
So 4 is all the way at the bottom?
Oh, never mind. 6, 5, 3, 4, 1, 2.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, that's my order for the original. For the Brotherhood cut, though, I would say I think I love still 6, but then 5, and then 3, then 4, then 1, then 2.
Okay. How about you?
Okay.
I just love the white room scene.
Oh boy.
All right. So when it comes to the original cut, okay, this one's actually easy. Least to greatest, episode 1. I do think that it's probably the weakest episode in my opinion. Even though it opens up with a good fight scene, I just felt like it was the weakest in terms of overall plot. Then it would be episode 2, because I felt like that was the episode where it might not have had the most stuff going on or whatever, but I felt like the setup for the dynamic between Link, Snake, and Waluigi was really well set up, and it does play into it later on in the movie. And of course, Link's freak out episode, that's kind of hard to beat at times. Then it would be episode 4, very atmospheric episode, love it, make Kamek good. Then it would be episode 5.
Whoa.
Mainly because of Mario's death.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario's death, even in the original, in my opinion, was pretty impactful. Never saw it coming, and I thought that Master Hand was set up pretty good as a villain. It's just a shame that episode 6 kind of undid that, but it got fixed. Yay. Then it would be 6. Despite Chris being the weakest link of that episode, it was a pretty satisfying finale for the most part. Then obviously episode 3, goated. No explanation needed there.
Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Now, when it comes to the remaster, so I haven't seen a lot of these scenes in a while, so it my brain might be fogging up a little bit here, but I'll try my best.
Reese, real quick, just before you answer it, do you want to save this question for yourself until after you watch the movie? That way it's fresh in your head.
Good idea. I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, here's a very investing question for both of y'all. How does the movie change if the final battle was different? So, if Luigi and Bowser fight Shadow Mario, and the Brotherhood fights Master Hand, what happens?
Alright, I'll go right into this one. So, if you ask me, it's probably a better movie if you switch out the villains. Because you got to remember, who's going to be more personally invested in Mario? As much as he's friends with everybody else, well, I mean, that's his brother. I think it would have been a very heartbreaking thing for Luigi to have to fight Shadow Mario, someone who looks just like him. And that would make it much harder, and honestly, maybe even a little passive-aggressive towards Emilio in that fight, because Emilio's basically fighting Mario again in a sense. Hold on, I see your hand up.
Yeah, so Luigi would have to face Mario in a sense, but Bowser would, in a weird way, have to live with his sin for killing Mario. That'd be kind of cool.
I'll say this, if that was ever a possibility, if there was one thing I wish happened, is that we switched the villains, because Master Hand on the Brotherhood, I think would have been significantly more impactful, because Master Hand, like, we were preparing for Master Hand pretty much the entire time, and you got to remember, who did Master Hand fuck with the entire film? It wasn't really Luigi, it was the Brotherhood. So it's like, it would have made more sense if it was done that way. Obviously, for some logistical reasons, we just couldn't do that. And I like to feel like we made it work no matter what. But I'm not oblivious, and I'm willing to admit where things can be better. If the villains were swapped, you would have a stronger narrative. I'm going to say this, they would have won still. It would have been much harder for both of them. In Luigi's case, not because it's a harder fight, but it's because why would he be fighting hard at all? That's his brother.
Right. Brower, what are your thoughts?
So if they swapped the villains, honestly, yeah, Luigi fighting Shadow Mario would be kind of fucky with his head, and it would be a bit harder to defeat than Master Hand, I would say, for Luigi's sake. And then for the Brotherhood to go up against Master Hand, I think they would get a lot of fake blood on them, because Master Hand is like the most powerful, and going up against these three guys, it's like, well, I figured it would be up to Link to defeat him by using the Triforce, and like only then will you be able to defeat Master Hand, because I think they would be on the brink of bloody face and death, and then Luigi would just kill Shadow Mario, and then looking at his brother's face being like, I'm sorry. I think that's how it would go pretty much. Like, the three would get blooded up, and Link would have to use the Triforce to kill Master Hand, and Luigi in regret killing Shadow Mario because he's looking at his brother.
God, honestly thinking about it.
That would be a cool one if
Like,
battle.
yeah, like, honestly kind of thinking about it, I wish that's how the movie went. I like to feel like structurally we still made it make sense, because, like, you know, what's it called? Master Hand is still technically the one responsible for Mario dying. And he was after the superstar this entire time. And with Shadow Mario, it's not like Mario wasn't connected to the Brotherhood. Mario basically guided them together. So I still think it works, but god fucking damn it, Reese, that's a very good what if.
You okay about Luigi for one more
Yeah.
death battle?
Oh my god.
Nah, he done. Alright.
They
And my
done,
last
yeah.
question.
And my last question, because we got to get this going sooner than later, because, you know, I live at home. My last question is actually another what if, believe it or not. If you did smash with the Phase 2 cast, Eric, Raymond, and James, how different would this film be?
I'll let you answer this, because you kind of handled that crew way more than I did.
Yeah, I would say that I could definitely see Snake teaming up with Mario to go help find Luigi in the Shadow Realm, and then Link and Waluigi would go on their separate ways, because Snake and Mario are a bit closer through all the videos we've been through, in a way. Like, not personally closer, but I can see Raymond, Snake, and my Mario teaming up to find Luigi, and Waluigi and Link going off on their own adventure. And that would be, I think, the only change I could see happening, with like some different line deliveries, and maybe this time Snake is still the hot-headed one, and Link is a bit more tamed but brute force, and Waluigi is a bit more like eccentric and fancy, more fancy fighting moves than Brian's Waluigi. I can see Waluigi and Link teaming up against Master Hand, while Snake and Mario team up with Luigi to help defeat Bowser. I honestly could see that dynamic with the new cast of Phase 2. And other than that, I think still with Mario dying, I can definitely see Snake I can see Eric's Waluigi being the one to initiate the Brotherhood, like, for Brotherhood. Yeah, I can see Eric's Waluigi being the one to initiate for Brotherhood, because he's very passionate.
Okay, that's interesting. Alright, without further ado, you ready to watch a movie? Oh, uh-oh.
Yeah, we're good. Just my dad.
Alright, without further ado, you ready to actually watch this movie?
Before my mom bitches at me, fuck yeah, let's do it.